Hi, chickies. Golden. So we're getting the chicken coop ready for nesting boxes. It's going to be probably about a month yet before they start laying, but we want to go ahead and get them put in here so they can get used to them. There's our chicken nests. Our nesting boxes, we have a kitty litter bucket and a milk crate that I can easily tip and get the eggs out of.
Yep. So we want the wire to hang it with.
Yeah. Hi chickies, we're hanging up your food. Blanche, you're just hanging out in the corner until everything's done, aren't you? Hey, Betty. We're hanging up the chicken feeder. We put a hook up there to hang the chicken feeder from. And there's the little rat dog. Hi, Dookie. The dogs are enjoying the weather. It's a little windy. There's Miss Sasha. She has a hard time getting around. She's getting pretty old. Well, today was finally transplanting day. I'm potting up my plants. And now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put them all. I know none of you have that problem, but I've got 15 yellow and red peppers. These are from seeds that I started from peppers that I bought at the grocery store, so I'm amazed how well those are doing. I still have all these cabbage and broccoli to put somewhere, and the kale. I ended up with 21 mortgage lifter tomatoes. I think I've got room maybe for about 15 tomato plants. So I've got 21 of those. And I've got 15 opalka tomatoes and 4 tomatillos. So I'm not quite sure where all this is going to go yet. I think I'm going to have to go take a look at the garden and do some measuring. Some of these tomatoes may end up going in the flower bed. Well, I've been looking over the garden and have had to do a little refiguring as far as where I'm going to put my tomatoes. Originally they were going to go right here, and I had a second row of posts with the wire wrapped around the end, but the posts were only about 8 to 10 inches apart, and I started thinking I'm not going to be able to harvest any fruit from in between the posts because I can't get in between to get them. So we decided to take the second row down, and I'm going to plant my cucumbers here. And then back here we did some investigation. We originally thought our septic tank was in the blank garden area back there, but we did some investigation and found out that it's outside the garden area, so we can use this area to plant. So Russell installed a second row, or another row of T-posts for me, and we've got some fencing hooked up on it. And then I'll put another row of, I just have regular stakes to attach the tomatoes to behind it. And then back in the back we planted some cantaloupe. So we were really happy to find out that the septic tank and the drain field were not underneath the garden. That made us very happy. And while we're out here, just a few updates. I got some beans planted in 2 of the garden beds. This one has dragon's tongue, and this one has just regular green beans. I think they're called progressors, I believe, but they have not germinated yet. Still waiting on them. We just planted them. I just planted them about 3 days ago. So they should be germinating pretty soon. But that's kind of an update. Our potatoes are just doing magnificently. Really happy about that. I've got about 25 plants, I think, here. Russell counted them last night. He wanted to see how many we had. But I have had to put up some different whirligigs and some cans flapping in the wind to keep. I decided that the birds were clipping off the middle of my plants. So it wasn't all the little rat dog. I have to apologize to him. The birds were coming over too and clipping off some of the plants. So the little rat dog did like the onions. But as you can see, he didn't get too many of them. They're doing really well. And my lettuce is doing up. It won't be too long we'll be able to harvest some lettuce. And the peas are getting almost tall enough that I can kind of lean them over towards the fence so that they can climb up the fence. But I'm going to do my peas differently next year. I'll probably move this little trellis fence forward and just plant the peas right at the edge instead of leaving room like I did. I was doing it like a square foot garden, and they're just not close enough to the fence or the trellis to climb up it. So I'm going to change that out for next year. But that's part of gardening, right? You do what you think's going to work, and when it doesn't, you change it and make plans for something different for the next year. Hope you all are having a great day. I know I am. Just looking out here at my plants in the garden makes everything good. We'll see you next time.